Well, welcome back everybody. We're still at the other garage. We're going to work on this truck some more today on the floor pans. And if I get a little time, we're going to finish building the downpipe and the wastegate dump for the Turbo LS Mustang here. But today's plan, I'm going to get this piece patched right here. And we're going to at least get one side of the floorboard replaced. So follow along with me and let's see how that goes today. Alright, anytime you're patching metal like this, you always want to grind it lightly. And if you can't get clean metal in your grind, like this right here, just pitted, as you can see, that metal's super soft right there. Kind of like this stuff right here. If it's that soft, you can't weld to it. And if it don't grind clean, or at least 80% clean, you can't weld to it either. So what I've done, I just kind of brushed line this right here. And I come in here last night with the chisel and just knock some of this flange off. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here. And then I'll work on making a panel that fits right here. So let's get busy and see what we end up with. And pretty much this is what you're going to end up with. As you can see, I did work that groove out some more with a hammer. It does look pretty rough. But like I said, this guy's on a budget. So he's not worried about it being pretty. I could have spent some time dollying, hammering, till it was perfect. I still got to grind the welds down a little bit. You did notice that I left a big gap up here. That's because this corner right here is super soft. And I'm going to more than likely have to make that. Because the floor pans, they don't have that bend over there in that corner. So I left this off until I get this front pan in, and then I'll make a piece to connect these two. Because this is rotten right here. It's just good metal. So I'm going to get back busy. I'm going to grind this down real quick. And I'll get to cutting on this front pan. We'll come back when I get to that point of marking everything and figuring out where I'm going to cut it. So be back here in just a few. And alright. We got our patch pan right here. And basically what I'm going to do, I just slid it in the truck as far as I can get it. Now I don't have to go halfway up the firewall on this truck with this panel. Fortunately it's solid about 6 inches down. So basically what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to figure out, I'm going to trim this pan just a little bit at a time. Right here. So I'm going to start by cutting about 4 inches off of it right here. I'm just going to bring that straight across. Pretty close anyway. Somewhere around in there. That way we can actually get our pan up to the drop down. And from there, I'm just going to keep slightly trimming it until it gets to fit how I want it to on top of the old floor pan, and then I'll go ahead and I'll cut the old pan out. As you can see, I've done a little grinding here. Does look a lot better. But basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to trim as little as possible as you go. And once I get it where it'll sit on top of the old pan, I'll go around and mark it. And then pull this pan out, and then I'll go about an inch below that line and cut the pan out of the truck. Why an inch? Because once I get this other pan out, this pan will drop down, and it should give us a nice flush mount weld. So I'm going to work along with this, and I get to a point where I need to show y'all something. I'll be back. And alright, I got my top of my panel marked. And as you can see by the dotted line, I dropped down a little bit. And that's going to be my cut line. All the way around. I'm going to cut this panel out exactly like I have it marked on the dotted line. And obviously I'll have to separate it from the cab brace up here. I've got to support the front of this cab when I cut this out. I'm going to get cutting this out. Get separated from a couple little small braces that are under here, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna get busy dealing with this rust monster here, and then I'll be back. All right, at this point, I got our cab brace cleaned up, got our cab supported up here. I'm fixing to go around through here and grind this edge off, clean it up, and I will do the same with the new pan. I'll grind the edge around, just so I got a good surface to weld. I want to mock our pan back up, and I'll mark around where our cab brace edges are from the bottom side, so I can drill it for our spot welds where the cab mount attaches to the floor pan. And our little pile down there is growing. That big lump right here is the rat's nest that come out of the cab mount on this side. So I'll probably go in here and spray some enamel over this weld through primer, just for a little extra rust prevention. This truck is coming off the cab, coming off the frame. But I'm going to get back at it here and get to grinding some more, and then we'll test fit our pan again, and I'll be back. And alright, I've got all my edges ground down and some weld through primer sprayed around through here. Always use weld through primer when doing rust repairs. It just keeps it from rusting in between if it does happen to overlap any at all. Ideal fit is flush, Very, very small overlap is acceptable when doing rust repair, as long as the surface underneath it is painted. Same thing with your pan also. So you don't want to leave an overlap like this. I'm talking, 1/4 inch maximum. So this depends on if it's a budget job or not, how you do it. This here is a budget job. So I'm gonna get back busy. We'll let our well through primer dry for about 10 or 15 minutes here. Then I'll be back once I get the pan fitted up. Alright, I got our pan back in here fitted. There's some important things to note when you're doing stuff like this, like body plugs. Now, this truck's an automatic. This hole right here is for the clutch rod on a manual transmission truck. But I am going to put the body plug back in it. So what I do, I just kind of rough estimate the shape. And I will check it with our body plug. And then you get down here to the edge, and as you see, this edge, even though it's all the way in here, it does stick out past the rocker panel quite a bit. So I got our panel where it's a friction fit. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this pan just a little bit. And if you notice, I just make a mark here at the back where it's about level here. You can see where the old pan was attached. And same in the front up here. So what I'm going to do, I'll lay a piece of tape to connect these two lines, and then I'll cut that out. I'll cut our clutch rod hole up there. And then pretty much we're ready to start welding. So I still got to grind off the edge on the front side of this NPD replacement pan, which is super nice, by the way. It's real heavy quality. I'm not sponsored by them. First time using their stuff. It's real nice stuff. Lots of extra metal. And it's actually bent right. So, super surprising there. Yeah, you will have stuff like this. And I'll address that when I start welding the pan in. Same here. It's a little high right here. I will trim this down when I go to make this piece that will connect our other patch panel to the new floor pan. So I'm going to get busy, and we'll see where we end up today. But so far, it's after lunchtime at this point. We'll probably get this pan put in today, and probably the other one tomorrow. And then pretty much this job's wrapped up, and it goes back to the body shop. So I'm going to get busy here, and I'll get back, and I'll let y'all know where we stand. Alright, we got our pan. It's fully welded in all the way around. Took a flat disc and just kind of cleaned up the weld a little bit. Got a good solid floor pan. So now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to make me a little piece to put in here. Just connect these two panels. And then this side will be done. And tomorrow we can work on the other side. I still got a little bit of time in the day. I may go ahead and cut that pan out over there, and if I do, I'll bring y'all along for the ride. But for right now, I'm going to make this little wedge, and we'll get it put in there, and we'll get this side of the pan painted, and see what we get. Alright, I got our little wedge in there, got it reasonably ground down. Like I said, this is a budget job. This is not how I usually like to do things, but this is what he wants. It's what he wants to pay for, so that's what we're doing. A lot of people complain about stuff that they see on the internet that's not quite beautiful. Well, sometimes customers just don't want to pay for something to be beautiful, and that's the case with this. We're just addressing the rust. We're making the truck solid again. So, got our pan all welded up. It's fully welded in. It's good and safe. Same with our kick panel area. Same with our under seat area and the other side over there. So we still have some pinholes. He wanted us to replace as little metal as possible. That is not going to be dangerous. It's not going to hurt anything. We still got a pinhole there in the transmission tunnel on top. Now, I could have patched this stuff, but I've already went kind of above and beyond on this job as far as this stuff goes, as far as cleaning up braces and painting and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind, guys. The word budget means different things to different people. This is a budget job. It is not beautiful. It is getting seam sealed. It is getting dynamited. At this point, I'm going to start cutting this panel out just like I did the other side. And I'm going to get this panel cut out and then we'll go from there. So, other than that, that'll be in tomorrow's video, not today's. 500 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. At 1,000, I'm going to give away something larger. It's going to be some kind of cool collectible stuff. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to these videos. Definitely share them with your friends. And I'll see you tomorrow.